During work-related phone calls with a Supreme Master television team member on August 29th and 30th, Master readily answered some questions regarding the situation in Afghanistan, with further insights and guidance for the Taliban and United States government. The topic was also raised about the current endangered state of our world.
Oh my God! Yo, yo!
The number of weather-related disasters has increased fivefold in the past 50 years. That's according to the World Meteorological Organization. On average, an event linked to weather, climate or water hazard has killed 115 people every day since 1970.
There are 11,000 such disasters over the last 50 years. 2 million people have lost their lives. The economic damage is growing hugely, 7 times more than it was in the 1970s. 3 of the biggest storms, they all occurred in 2017, just a few years ago, including Hurricane Harvey, Irma and Maria.
We are going to see more climatic extremes because of climate change, and this negative trend in climate will continue for the coming decades.
We hear some people saying, well, this is a once in a 100-year event. It is absolutely not. It is part of a pattern of emerging viruses. And there will be more in the future. There are going to be further pandemics. We don't know when. We don't know what it will be.
This is a time of screening, almost like the final hour, 11th hour of humanity. The scientists keep telling us, and I've been sounding the alarm over these years and recently, but if humans do not change, then probably many will lose their lives. And not just that, but then the economy will collapse. Many things will happen before we can see the change.
Oh.
And at that time, I don't know if we can start it all over again from ABC.
Right.
To rebuild the world with so much sickness and pandemics and even old pandemics or old deadly diseases and infections returned and so many disasters everywhere. I think maybe heaven wants to get rid of all the humans.
Oh.
Or as many humans as possible.
Oh, God.
Even though some already changed into a more benevolent lifestyle, like choosing vegan, to reduce karma and reduce destruction for the planet. But not enough. Everyone has to change.
Yes.
And then the table will turn immediately. Things to get better immediately, almost, few weeks.
Wow. Master, as President Joe Biden wasn't meant to be the president this time, does this mean that he might not have enough merits to stay in that office?
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
That's why Harley call him president.
I see.
Yeah. He's not supposed to be in that post. But by some means, as the negative karma of humans and Americans are too strong, it overrides it. That's why he cannot make any good decisions.
Right.
Former Bush and Obama administration Defense Secretary Robert Gates wrote in 2014 that Biden, quote, has been wrong on nearly every major foreign policy and national security issue over the past 4 decades.
Everything is opposite to what is good for the Americans.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though President Trump does not look like what people expect him to be, but he is absolutely good for the Americans.
Yes.
He's supposed to look after the Americans at this time. It's not just Biden, It's just for America that we're talking about, but quite a few leaders don't have enough merit to be there. That's why our world is a mess. Okay?
Oh, I understand.
He just destroys peace.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, not destroy, but damaging, and kind of restarting the devil's circle, the vicious circle of vengeance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, the president's not ending the war, he's just changing the character of it.
A terror attack in a New Zealand supermarket by a known ISIS supporter.
It's going to get much worse. And what we have to remember is the Haqqani network, who used to run the Kabul attack network, is now in charge of security in Kabul. You compound that with the 5,000 that we made the Afghans release from prison, and then you compound that further with all the prisons being empty now of ISIS, Khorasan, and Al-Qaeda, and the Taliban. And so what we now have is a new epicenter of jihadist terrorism that is going to be a grave threat to the world.
Oh,
Terrible.
it's really not good.
To be strong is not like waiting till the enemy attacks you and then you bomb them back.
No.
That's not showing your strength.
No.
Strength, wisdom, is to avoid that from happening.
Right.
So that peace can be more established and nourished.
Yes.
Yeah, so citizens of both sides or every side can have their freedom, their peace to enjoy and to build their lives for themselves, their countries, their children, and for the next generation. They should have peace to think, to relax in order to reorganize their lives
Yeah.
or build their lives, okay, in peace.
Yes. Master, should the U.S. Congress reclaim war powers authority since Mr. Biden has proven unable to handle the Afghan crisis?
They could do that if they think he's not good enough. They should fight him anyway, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm not really supporting any war.
Yeah. Understand.
But I cannot also advise them not to do anything. It's not in my position. But war will always breed more war.
Yes, Master.
They should have taken over before. Not now, things already happen.
Yeah.
Take over before to speed up the rescue process before the withdrawing of all the equipment and personnel and soldiers and all that, yes.
Right.
Like this right now, billions in equipment are left behind in Afghanistan.
Yeah. So it's too late.
Too late, yes. War is never good anyway.
It's true, never.
Yes, because the war destroys many things. Destroys the country, destroys people's life, destroys peace, destroys the economy, destroys even security for people, destroys farming,
Yes.
agriculture and all that. It breeds famines, no matter what ideology or who wins, who loses. It's devastating for people everywhere in that country and spilling over to the next neighboring countries and into the world at large as well. Yeah?
Yes, right.
Very difficult. It's better to avoid war at all costs. The option of war should never be the priority. But that's what I was afraid of. You know, that the generals and the commanders of the army and all the Congress, all the Senate will take over if they are very angry, if they are in pain and feeling humiliated by the Taliban or by any other organization,
I see.
they might take the matter into their hands.
Oh.
And the European alliance could also take matters into their hands if they feel too frustrated and too pained, too much grievance, or too angry if the government or any government or Taliban is mistreating their female members of society and, molesting little girls like that. My goodness, it's terrible. This is evil, beyond evil.
It is, yeah.
Beyond any uncivilized concept.
This stoning and lashing is already happening. What they are saying, it's much different than what they are doing on the ground.
The UN is already noting credible reports of abuse by the Taliban, especially when it comes to restricting women and girls.
Women have already been sent home from their jobs and universities.
When Taliban came in Kabul, really I can't breathe. I couldn't breathe. All study, my all background, now it's like a grave.
You see, the Taliban say that the women should stay in the house because their soldiers have not been trained for respecting women. My goodness. If the Taliban leaders, even though they don't want it, but their soldiers are going out house to house and harassing people like that, and they don't discipline them, then I don't think any European country or America even wants to work with them, unless they show goodwill first.
Yes, right.
The discipline. Because if you cannot discipline your own soldiers, whom you have been fighting alongside or at least teaching all these decades, then how can you govern a nation?
Right.
What kind of a nation that has to be under such atrocities, brutality, immoral behavior of their own people like that? How do they survive? Okay?
Yes.
So I don't know if any country would really cooperate with the Taliban if they don't show their better side. And soon,
yes,
the country is already reeling in pain and suffering and losing international trust. And if they don't turn around soon, I don't know if they can even keep their power or country. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Because the international government or army, they might not be able to hold it, even though they want peace.
Yes.
They might not be able to hold it, to see the women and children being abused like that.
Yeah, of course.
So if the Taliban doesn't show a better side, doesn't treat their citizens, especially women and children, with the normal behavior, don't even ask for anything more.
Yes, yes.
Just treat them like everybody else in the Western society, with normal respect and peace, to let them get on with their life.
I was a teacher for 19 years, and for the past 2 years I'd been promoted to school principal. I taught all the village girls. Some of my pupils even became doctors. I had to leave because I received threats, because I was working for a government-run school. The eve of our departure, there was a lot of fighting. My husband said we could no longer stay there. He said, if they don't kill us today, they'll kill us tomorrow.
In my village, we were a group of 10 or 12 women who were working, but we kept receiving threats. They would throw letters full of threats at the places where we deliver our cakes. They'd keep repeating to the village leader that they were going to shut down the little kitchen where we worked, that they would hit it with the rockets. So all the women got scared and stopped working. The money we'd earned from morning till evening made us proud. After that, we had to stay home and wait for the men of the village to decide about our lives first. All this because we sold sweets at the market. That's a garden.
Oh yes, the garden. Look, look.
Yes, the children were so free.
There's that swing they would play with. I look at this and it just makes me miss everything even more. The people, my neighbors, my school, the little streets. No one is more unlucky than Afghans, don't you think? No one in the world would trade places with us, not even for an hour.
All the women want and all the other citizens want is just to live a normal life.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, to have peace and to go to work and come back home with a warm welcome of a family.
Yeah.
Harmonious family.
Right.
And raise their children up to be good citizens, to contribute to the country and the world. That's all they want.
Yeah.
They don't want anything more from the government. The government doesn't even have to give them anything. Just leave them alone.
Yeah.
To survive, to live. And now our world looks like it's coming to an end with so many disasters, one after another, non-stop, and the pandemic and the virus, one after another variant keeps coming. One is worse than the others. Now there are some variants that even reject the vaccination even.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it will take some more time to develop a new one. And then meanwhile, they will have new variants, even worse.
Yeah.
So we can chase viruses forever. So the whole world is in the grip of disaster and death right now. And in such a time period of the war, I still think of watching war and, bombing people without arms, bombing innocent and helpless people like that is beyond despicable.
Yes, it's beyond.
Yeah. And therefore, I hope the international community, including the Taliban and many other Muslim countries, would work together something to let people, the ordinary poor people, have some breathing space, at least. Yeah?
Yes, right.
Just leave them alone to deal with their lives, their family. They go to work, they pay taxes. That's all they need.
Yeah.
The governments are the employees
Yes.
of the people because the people pay taxes in order to keep them in office. So I don't know why any government would dare or any army would dare to go and harass them. That is upside down.
There are reports saying that the Biden administration gave away the names of Americans and U.S. allies to the Taliban. Master, should they still cooperate with the Taliban after the deadly attacks that happened recently?
Yeah, my God. This is a taboo, to give your own people a name list away, give it away to the so-called enemy, or former enemies.
Yes.
Take some time to work with them to know if they're sincere and peace-loving.
Yes.
Yeah, between the United States and the Taliban, and also between the Taliban and their own people. We don't know. The Americans don't know yet. So to give away a list like that is endangering the lives of American servicemen there, and also their families and relatives and friends, connections, It's so easy to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it could become a blacklist for murdering, killing, or assassinating.
Yes, Master.
Or taking into prison, whatever they would do. It's so easy.
Right.
And then now there was an attack on them like that.
Yes.
I'm not sure how they're going to deal with this. Under Biden, anything could happen. Any illogical thing, dangerous thing could happen. Not to him, to his people, to the Americans who expose their lives in dangerous situations to help others. And now he gave the list of their Americans and Afghan allies names. Yeah, make it so easy. Maybe the Taliban don't want to kill them, but maybe they leaked out the information to another so-called terrorist organization. That's how the bomb happened.
All right. Yes, Master.
You see now, America made it happen so that there's war between them and the ISIS.
Right.
And between the ISIS and the Taliban as well.
Yes.
And between America and the Taliban also. Because the Taliban is now condemning the drone strike from America. The Americans were conducting the drone strike to revenge the Kabul airport bombing.
Yes.
And then now the Taliban also died in that attack. And before that, they say they vowed to track down and revenge the ISIS for this.
Yes.
And then the Americans did the same.
Oh,
they also vowed to revenge the evil. Both of them vowed to do the same thing, but now the Americans did it and the Taliban condemned them.
Yes, I see.
This is so funny. It's truly funny. So now at least 3 groups become enemies now. The ISIS and the Taliban become America's enemies.
It's worse than before.
Yeah. Before that, the Taliban was the enemy of the ISIS and vowed to find them and punish them. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
First, let somebody kill, and then later make an excuse to revenge. And then they revenge you back. America revenge them, the Taliban or whoever revenge them back. And the circle never ends.
Right.
The devil cycle or circle never ends.
True, yeah.
Buddha and Jesus always emphasized that you must cut the cycle of vengeance, must forgive, make friends, otherwise it will never end. The cycle doesn't just end here, but also after life. In hell, it will not end. People will suffer. You know, the perpetrator will suffer more, forever in hell as well. Not just this lifetime that we should worry about.
Yes, understand.
So this is a really grave, very, very serious and grave problem with venging.
Yeah.
That's why God said vengeance belongs to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Buddha emphasized peace.
Yes.
Our good religions emphasize that. I pray that the world will wake up, especially those so-called leaders. They will just have to wake up, really dedicate themselves for the sake of their co-citizens or subjects, and not thinking of their power and their fame and their gain and their selfish, bloody goals.
Yeah.
What for want to conquer the world? I'm telling you, the world is ending size everywhere. If we don't wake up, we will have no more world to live in, no more planet to stay on.
Yes.
Not to talk about fighting with each other for a seat in the presidential, prime minister's palace or parliament or senate, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, or a land or a country. Okay, my love, my well wishes to all of you, in-house workers and outside workers, for the Supreme Master Television and all the initiates. Keep safe, keep healthy, pray to God, be humble, be grateful for your life and your health and your safety. May heaven, may God, may Allah be with you. Amen.
Amen, Master.
May our world have peace and a vegan policy.
The time has now come for both leaders and citizens to apply our highest virtues, removing all obstacles that oppose mercy and endanger life on our planet. Let us pray and take the chance, while we still have it today, to unite and heroically build a peaceful vegan world, as our children's lives depend on it. With utmost gratefulness to Most Gracious Master, may she be always in the loving support of all goddesses, while her courageous messages move us to demand the triumph of goodness. To hear what more Supreme Master Ching Hai has to say about how the international community should respond to the Taliban, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples on Wednesday, September 15th.